Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Media Boat Podcast, your weekly rundown where we talk about movies, TV, music, and video games, not necessarily in that order. My name is Mike. His name is Matt.
My name is Matt. His name is Mike. Thank you for joining us on the Media Boat Podcast this week. All of what he just said is true. Today is July 22nd, 2025. It's episode 496, creeping ever so close to that wonderful 500. And yeah, we're here to give you all of that and more.
Yep, we got a jam-packed episode, including stuff that happened today. So let's get right into it, starting with the music news.
Yes.
Well, not the
Well,
news
no,
yet. We'll start the music
music
with the Billboard.
billboard. Yeah.
Start the Billboard with the Hot 100. And the hottest song in the land is still an ordinary song, Ordinary, by Alex Warren. Coming in at 2 is Daisies by Justin Bieber, with that album coming in. 3, we have What I Want by Morgan Wallen featuring Tate McRae. At 4, Golden by various artists. I mean,
No.
Huntrix. I think it's Huntrix. As
It's
a
pronounced Huntrix. That is how it's pronounced in the movie. But the I
yes,
is stylized as a forward slash.
because
Or is
they're
that a backslash? I
hunters
don't know.
in the movie. Yes,
Yeah.
it's backslash.
Backslash.
Yes, yes, but hunters in the movie, Huntrix, named.
Huntrix.
Yep, and running at your top 5, just in case, it's Morgan Wallen. As for your Billboard, your albums, your Billboard 200, at number 1, Jack Boys 2 by Jack Boys and Travis Scott.
Not jacked boys, just Jack boys. They really love
Sure.
Jack in the Box.
Really? And not Leonardo DiCaprio's role in Titanic?
That would be too specific. What are you talking about?
I mean, you could go into a deeper cut of a Stanley Kubrick-esque angle,
Yeah.
because all
Yeah.
work and no place make Jack a dull boy.
Yeah, maybe that's what they're going for. Who really knows besides the Jack boys themselves?
I don't know. I like my shining angle better. At number
Oh,
2,
I don't know how strong my mic is, but just by the way, there might be some construction noise from behind me. They're working on something in our lobby for the
oh, are
next
they
two
using a
weeks.
jacked hammer?
No jacked hammers, thank God, but a lot of drilling and hammering. So we'll see.
Well, all right. Well, number 2, speaking of drilling, we got Swag by Justin Bieber.
How is that speaking of drilling?
I don't know. I just always say that to connect things. At number 3, I'm the problem because he's Morgan Wallen. At 4, Let God Sort Him Out by Clips. And rounding at your top 5, K-pop Demon Hunters. Huntrix. Uh, Soundtrack by various artists.
Yes.
Yes. If you didn't like any of those albums, we have new releases, starting with The Revenge of Alice Cooper by said Alice Cooper.
Makes sense.
Alfredo 2 by Freddie Gibbs and The Alchemist.
I love Alfredo. It's my second favorite. No, yes, it's my second favorite pasta sauce.
Alfredo Bolognese.
No, ever since I'm a vegetarian, I have to write that one off. So, my number one is now vodka sauce.
Oh, wait, vodka's vegetarian?
Vodka sauce? Yeah. It's just
I guess
tomatoes
so.
and
It's
vodka.
tomatoes.
They
Yeah.
cook out the alcohol. So,
All right. We also have Precipice by Indigo de Souza.
mhm.
Veronica Electronica by Madonna. It's
Yes,
fun to
that
say.
Madonna.
Yes, that fun to say. Yes, that fun to say Madonna. We also have Crown of Roses by Patty Griffin. And lastly, Snipe Hunter by Tyler Childers.
You need a snipe hunted? Ask Tyler Childers.
Yeah. Also, because we didn't talk about it last week, and it's not on technically new release this week,
Hmm.
Tyler, the creator, did put out
Yes.
a new album.
That was like a surprise release of sorts, where he announced it 2 days before it happened. Also, we didn't talk about Swag, the Justin Bieber record, because that was also a surprise drop. So yeah, we're just getting surprised left and right.
So hopefully, no surprises this week. But there was a surprise at the Coldplay concert. Because, yes,
Yeah.
just like every media outlet out there, we're going to talk about it.
It was a slow music week, trust me. It was
To
either
be
this,
fair, as slow as a
yeah,
music week was, this was still the biggest story
right.
in music.
If it wasn't this, it would have been Scooter Braun talking about how he doesn't care about Taylor Swift fans, and I didn't really want to talk about that. So this one.
Right. So, at the Coldplay concert on Wednesday night in Foxborough, Massachusetts, go Pats, a fan cam found astronomer CEO Andy Bryan with his arms draped around a woman, speculated to be his HR chief, Kristen Cabot. Once spotted, they quickly moved away from each other, hid their faces from the camera, and were instantly both ashamed and went viral. The couple was identified on social media, and the clip of them has amassed tens of millions of views since it was posted late Wednesday. In the wake of this incident, Byron has stepped down from his role as CEO of Astronomer, a move revealed in a statement on Saturday. Also on Saturday, during the first concert since the now infamous video was taken, Coldplay leader Chris Martin jokingly warned the audience that the fan cam was about to begin filming, stating, quote, "We'd like to say hello to some of you in the crowd. How we're going to do this is we're going to use our camera and put some of you on the big screen. So please, if you haven't done your makeup, do your makeup now."
Yeah, there was a range of different theories out there when this happened. It's like, was Coldplay in on it? Were like, was Chris Martin trying to take somebody down? No, they don't know. They don't know where their like the camera operators don't even know where they're going to point the camera. They just kind of decide on the willy-nilly, on the fly. So no, that was not a planned thing. It's just very funny how it happened. You've all heard the story a billion times, so we don't really need to talk about it in that way. But I just thought it was fun to have Chris Martin kind of play along with it and make just some jokes about it.
And how quickly it went viral because the next day at the Angels Phillies game, it was parodied during the fan
Yes.
kiss cam. And then just last night, it was parodied again on the Stephen Colbert show, Late Show with Stephen Colbert. And it was parodied everywhere else as well.
Yeah, you're
Lots
probably
of
sick of
fan
it by the time
reactions.
that it got around to us, basically.
Yes. But yeah, CEO has stepped down. HR, I guess, has to go talk to herself in HR to figure out what to do about this.
I guess so.
But yeah, no word if Kristen Cabot is stepping down as HR chief,
Oh.
but it's a mess. It's a fun mess. Everyone was had a nice, fun distraction from everything else that happened in the news with
I mean,
this.
yeah, it's fun if you're not the people involved or his wife.
Yes. Who quickly took his last name off of all social media presence.
Wouldn't you, though? Wouldn't you?
Shouldn't you, though? Shouldn't you?
Yeah.
There's a difference between would you and should you.
Should you? I mean, it depends on their arrangement, but I'm guessing by her reaction, that was not part of their arrangement.
I'm guessing by his reaction, it was not part of the arrangement either.
Yeah. Anyways, let's move on.
Anyways, let's move on and instead let's talk about a woman and a good old boy. Not
Okay.
those two, obviously, but instead we're going to talk about Thomas Rhett and his latest album, well, latest deluxe album
Okay.
about a woman, parentheses, and a good old boy. Except this is also not his first deluxe album. So apparently he put out About a Woman, the album, last year, 2024.
Mm.
In May, he put out About a Woman, from a small town, parentheses, in May of this year.
Okay.
And now in July, he's put out About a Woman, parentheses, and a good old boy.
Wow, it
A
sure seems like
third
he's
del-
really milking this material as long as he can.
He really is. And you know what? I think third time's the charm. I think he's finally put the albums or the songs in the right order on this album. And they're good songs. They're pop songs. It's pop country. It's pop rock country. A lot of pops, a lot of hits in here. I like the way this one flows compared to the other two albums, other two versions of this album. It is the most recent version. There's a lot of other artists on here, like Tate McRae, like Teddy Swims, a lot of hot artists on this. So it's got a little extra oomph that kind of warrants it being a deluxe album. It is a bit longer than the original. Its one is just over an hour, whereas the original one was only about 36 minutes. So there's a lot of fun material in here. I think it is more fun the way it's put together. And I like the songs in here and the order in here better than the original About a Woman.
Okay.
So if you like Thomas Rhett, and he's kind of like in that tier with like Thomas Rhett and like Jake Owen, where they're like kind of like fun, boppy country music, but don't take yourself too seriously, like Chris
Right.
Stapleton era.
It's like put on in the background at the party or the barbecue, but don't
They're
listen to
really
in
like,
headphones at your desk, you know.
yeah, it's
Right.
really like party, like background party
Yeah.
music, which is,
Okay.
it has its era. It's got
It
its
does. It
fans,
does. It has its
and
time.
it's got its time. And it is a fun time listening to it. So if you
Ooh,
want to like drive around with a good country song about a woman and a good old boy,
there
can
you
fit that need.
go. Okay, cool.
Did you listen to anything?
Still listening to that Wet Leg record that I talked about last week. I listened to the new Fourth Wanderers record. Don't really need to talk about it here, but I think it's very good. Um, I don't. I think I was intending to listen to Swag by Justin Bieber, and I didn't get around to it. But from what I understand, that thing is different. It's like kind of like a chill vibes kind of vibe thing, and it's like nothing like he's done before. So I don't know. It could be all right. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Sidetracking here real quickly. Did you
Yeah.
watch the visual album that Miley Cyrus put out on Disney Plus?
No.
Okay. Well, that's out now.
Okay.
Uh, might check that out. Maybe. Maybe it'll actually like get me to enjoy the album, but we'll
Yeah, I
see.
don't know. I don't know if it's worth my try even at this point.
All right. Well then, let's move on then into video games where we
Yes,
got
let's.
new releases,
Yes.
including No Sleep 4, dun dun, Konami Date, dash, from AI, colon, the Sonium Files, for the PC,
Sure.
Switch, and Switch 2.
The Beastie Boys are not in it, unfortunately. I wish they were.
I don't know. Maybe.
Anime Beastie Boys.
We also have Wild Hearts S for the Switch 2. I believe this is the expanded version or the Switch version of Wild Hearts.
That makes sense.
There's Killing Floor 3 for the PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. Don't worry if you didn't play Killing Floor 1 or 2, because you probably would have died on the Killing Floor.
I mean, that makes sense. Yeah.
We also have Super Mario Party Jamboree Dash Nintendo Switch 2 edition and Jamboree TV for the Switch 2, obviously.
Yeah, that adds some new features and some new modes specifically designed for the Switch 2 camera and other accessories, including the mouse. Seems like it's mostly the camera though. Looks like some Kinect style, do this on camera and it'll be part of the game kind of stuff.
So for those of you who ponied up for the extra camera, you can now pony up for
Yep,
Super Mario Party Jamboree Switch 2 edition.
exactly.
All right, we also have Wu Chang: Fallen Feathers for the PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X.
Yep, that is an expansion, as you would imagine, to Wu Chang. What was that game called? Wu Chang Black something or other? Yeah, whatever that game is called.
Are you thinking of Wukong Black Mist?
Wait, is that not this? Oh, you're right. I assumed when I was typing this that that was that, but no, you're right. It's not Wukong. This is Wu Chang.
Yes.
Never mind.
Never mind. Instead, let's wrap around to Wheel World for the PC, PS5, Xbox Series X. And lastly, your wide release coming everywhere. So if you got it, you can play it. Monument Valley. But don't worry, this is the third version of Monument Valley. Monument Valley 3. So if you didn't play Monument Valley 1 or Monument Valley 2, Monument Valley expansions, well, you can start fresh with the Monument Valley 3.
Yeah, this is the PC and console releases this week. It was already released on mobile.
All right. Let's get into some video game news. And unfortunately, I only have two words written down here.
Hmm.
But they're big ones for us
They're
here.
big ones.
Pokemon Direct.
Yeah, I figured I
That
didn't
was
need
this
to.
morning.
Yes, I didn't. I figured I didn't need to write a bunch of stuff down because I that we both watched it.
Yes.
So yeah, this was a big Pokemon Direct that was announced just a couple of days ago, for this morning. It had an opening set by DJ Pikachu. Did you happen to watch DJ Pikachu set at
And I watched the
5:30 in
set.
the morning?
I jumped right into
Oh,
the live stream.
I was watching the DJ Pikachu set while I was making coffee at 5:45. That was quite an eye-opening experience. Literally. So yeah, the Pokemon Direct happened this morning as these usually go. It was not just focused on the video games. They also made some announcements about upcoming television shows and mobile games. So they confirmed that Pokemon Concierge Season 2 is coming in September.
Mhm.
They showed a new trailer with a lot of new footage. Looks amazing. Looks like the plot thickens with our main character. So I'm very excited to see what they do with that. Um, the second thing they showed off is a little teaser for the project that they're working with Aardman on. Aardman, the studio behind
Mhm.
Wallace and Gromit and other such films. And that looks cute. It looks like it's going to star a Sirfetch'd and a Pichu as a lovable duo, and maybe some Mareep. It looks like it takes place in Galar, which makes sense because that's the British analog of the Pokemon world, and Aardman knows British stuff, so that checks out. So that looks cute. Did they say a release date for that, or is that next year,
There was
2026?
no release date for that, but it makes sense that they're doing it
Next
in
year.
Galar. Well, one,
Yeah.
because Sirfetch'd is from Galar, but like you
Yes.
said, British.
Yeah, it's cute. It's a cute idea. Then mobile stuff, I mean, there were the usual round of updates
Mhm.
for Pokemon Go, Pokemon Unite,
Yeah.
Pokemon Cafe Mix, Pokemon Sleep, and the Pokemon trading card game in real life. No mention about Pocket, which is interesting. I think because that thing, they don't really need to talk about it anymore. Everybody's already playing it.
Well, there's also an expansion coming out on the 30th next week, and they usually do those announcements 5 days before.
Yeah,
So expect that to be happening on its own announcement, either the 30th
right.
or the 25th.
Makes sense.
Or sorry, the 24th or 25th, which is Thursday and
Okay.
Friday.
Then they also talked a little bit about a Poke Park that will be a permanent installation in a Japanese theme park. Seems like a cool idea that most of the people watching the American feed will never ever see, but it's a cool idea nonetheless.
I mean, you say that, but a lot of the American feed are directed towards that being a Kanto specific park. So it makes you wonder if they're going to do global parks focusing on the different regions coinciding with
Ah.
the world, the
Poke
Poke
Park
world.
Unova coming to Universal Studios Florida in 2035.
No, it'll be coming to Brooklyn because it's based off New York.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to a theme park in the middle of Brooklyn. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, no sleep there.
And we're full circle already. What else am I missing? Those were pretty much the big ones, right?
They showed off some more Pokemon
Oh,
ZA, including
well,
the
I was getting there.
announcing
I
that
was
there's
gonna
going to be a
end with
Switch 2.
ZA. I was gonna end with ZA because that's the actual video game in the video game section that we have to talk about. Um,
Right.
You're going to talk about Pokemon Friends, which was the in a moment, but before
Yes.
we do that, that is a educational puzzle game that's aimed towards children. It seems you're using heavy quotes around educational. I would also. It's just one of those brain teaser mobile games. It seems pretty simple. You'll talk about it in a second.
Mhm.
Um, and then, oh yeah, Pokemon Champions. They showed a little bit more footage from, and that is that battle game that is going to launch next year. They've confirmed, so that's not a 2025 game.
Right. Coliseum champions, whatever you want to call it.
Oh yeah, and I should mention that there's a proper patch coming out for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet for the Nintendo Switch 2. It was already showing some improvements on the Switch 2 before this patch, but this will supposedly add even more. They promised in the direct a better frame rate and higher quality visuals, which is very open to interpretation. I have yet to try this out myself, but maybe next week I'll check. But before next week, I'll check it out. Now we can talk about ZA. So yeah, they showed a bunch of new footage from ZA, a lot of story stuff, a lot of mechanics. They
And new Pokemon, new Mega
Yes,
forms.
new mega forms that we never seen, including a Mega Dragonite, which looked it
Mhm.
was divisive for the internet. I think some people thought, "Wow, this is over designed," and some were like, "No, this is my son, and I will protect him."
Yes.
So it really depends on how you are about Dragonite, I guess. One of the coolest things I thought that they were doing is there are even more expanded customization options for your trainer than ever before. By far, where even makeup choices and hairdo choices, where you can do multiple tones of hair, a lot of clothing. Um, I wasn't going to play this game, but the customization options alone are swaying me in a way that I don't appreciate, Pokemon Company. I was going to save 70, 80 probably dollars to on this game by not buying it, but anyway. So yeah. Did you think that any of the footage they seen looked interesting at all? Is it swaying you more towards playing this?
It starts swaying me more towards playing it because I was already swayed towards playing it.
You're already going to.
Yes, when they announced the open areas, that's kind of what swayed me because, like,
Yeah.
okay, so that's how they're going to get around the exploration that you can't do outside of the city
Yes.
within the city.
Yes. Yeah. It's a neat balance that they're striking here,
Mhm.
I think it works well with the plot of the game, being like, well, there's certain areas where Pokemon do coexist with humans, and there's certain areas where they don't. They're like nature preserves where they're just wild, and so
Right,
that
until you go in
balance.
and clean them all out and then just completely wreck the ecosystem.
And to catch all 20 Rattata
Like a true
in that
American.
park, yeah. Oh God. Well, no, French person. Remember, this is France.
Yes, an American coming into French and wrecking the ecosystem. My metaphor still makes sense.
Who knows where these trainers are from? That we don't know. That's not part of the plot we're privy to yet. Yeah, it looks interesting, but again, the moment to moment gameplay is still going to be legend style, and I don't really want that personally. So it's like this is really going to be hard for me to decide whether I actually will play this game or not because it looks like a really cool game, is what I will say.
Right,
Um,
but you also know that giving them money approves of the direction they're going in.
yeah, and you know what? I know they're eventually going to give us a proper 10th generation Pokemon game. So I will eventually be okay. But for now, it's just like maybe they're not catering to me. But that's okay. They don't always have to cater to me.
No,
All
that's
right.
what X and Y was for.
Yeah, exactly. Anything else in the Pokemon Direct that you want to mention or you thought about?
Um, like you said, the lack of Pokemon Pocket
Interesting.
was a choice,
Yeah.
but I think that it's built itself on its own that they can do its own reveal, its
Yeah.
own 90-second trailer 2 days later and continue with the scheduled hype instead of lumping it with this. Although it would have been nice to be like, oh, we do acknowledge that we have
Right.
more packs coming up. We do acknowledge that like certain Pokemon will be coming. Just a hit, just a morsel, but
Yeah.
and then just be like, yes, we know that some of your favorites are not in the game yet, but just you wait. We'll have
Yeah.
more announcements coming soon. And
I
then you
mean,
do
I don't
two
have
days later,
to.
it comes out.
I mean, I'm done. I'm tapped out because I don't need to play it anymore because I have a Tropius.
Yes, you do.
So
But
that's all I wanted. I just wanted a Tropius, and they gave me
yes.
Tropius finally. So I'm good.
Yes, but
I'm tapped.
according to some Italian leakers who couldn't wait or were absolutely flabbergasted that they didn't like mention it, that this upcoming one will be Johto region and have Lugia and Ho-Oh
Uh,
attached to it.
that would be cool. I
Yep.
I would be interested in seeing that. All right, that's it then for the Pokemon Direct.
Yeah. No word on Pokemon movie news related to it.
No,
Like I
yeah,
said, the
no,
only
no,
like
too
TV
early.
media outside of the Ardent teaser was Concierge coming back
Yeah,
in September, which we
yeah.
knew it was already coming back with the season two.
I would imagine that maybe they're holding some stuff for Pokemon Day in February. I could imagine that that's when you get your Gen 10 reveal. Maybe that's when they talk about Pokemon, uh,
February so far
a
away
movie.
though.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you gotta wait. Sorry. It's also 30th anniversary next year. So Pokemon's gonna have a huge blowout next year.
Should have a huge blowout next
I
year.
mean, how could you not for 30? Like, that's a huge deal.
I'm sorry, was there a huge blowout for a 25th anniversary?
There was, remember, they did the stuff for like they teased it at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. They did the thing with the music videos. They had a whole soundtrack for Pokemon 25. Did you block all of this out?
No, it's because we also got Pokemon Unite at the same time.
Yeah, so yeah, no. They're definitely gonna do something for 30 if they did something for 25.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
But we did get a game that you could download today.
Yeah.
And I did download today. And I did play it today. And I probably did pay for the season pass for it. Because I did the dailies. Took me all 5 minutes. And I was like, well, that was underwhelming. I need more of this.
Do I need to remind you that some things are not designed for us?
No. I
Okay.
mean, yes, you should always remind me that sometimes it's
Yeah.
not for us.
Sometimes it's
But
not for us.
but then other times there's just stuff that like we as grown adults tend to come in and ruin with our love and obsession. I'm not talking about scalping here. No, that's not an
No, no,
allegory or
no.
anything.
But
No.
but yes, also.
But also, I am an adult who can make adult decisions. So if I want to spend $35 on a Pokemon online card pack, um, but still can spend $0 on Pokemon trading card pocket, I can do that. That is
All
my
right.
prerogative.
There are
But
worse
yes,
ways to spend your money.
there definitely are. So yeah, Pokemon Friends
Yeah.
available now on Google Play and iOS App Store. Uh, like you mentioned before, it's simple puzzle games. They're supposed to be brain teasers, but my brain is not teased yet. Of course, these are also all like level ones that I'm going through. Supposedly, they do get harder the further you go on. But it's at least acknowledge that, wow, you're really smart and wow, you're really fast. 'Cause I'm doing these puzzles in seconds. Just be like, boop, 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 done. I do like there's a very wide variety of puzzles to complete. A lot of them do follow kind of the same pattern of go from point A to point B, or what does this shape make? Whether it's like slicing it in half or like via shadows. Uh, it's brain teasers. It's meant to be daily brain teasers where you do your two runs, and then at the end you get yarn, and that yarn gets turned into Poke Dolls, which you can then help decorate your room, or you can then help fulfill different missions to increase your friendship score.
Yep.
It's fun, it's nice, it's neat, but like you mentioned, it's probably meant for children. It's probably meant for kids. It's meant to be
Mhm.
light brain teasing stuff to where you learn to trace things, you learn to figure things out. They're not meant to be hard brain teasing puzzles. This isn't New York Times here. This is
No,
Pokemon.
this is not Puzzmo. Yeah, no, I think yeah, that's pretty much what I expected this thing to be. In fact, when we were watching the footage on the direct this morning, I literally was talking to Chrissy. I was like, how has this not happened already? How have they not done this? Like linked up with some sort of educational company and made these. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's about time that they do, and there's an audience for it, surely. And depending on how they monetize it, it could be very lucrative for them. Now, could it potentially be like nefarious because this is clearly for kids and they're trying to nickel and dime you? Yeah, there's that to worry about too. The trading card pocket game is one thing because that audience skews a little older. This is kind of creepy. Like they need to have some really good parental controls to make sure that it's not too easy for kids who are playing this, too young to understand what microtransactions are, to accidentally buy the season pass.
I mean, you could buy the pass, like I said, it's $33,
Yeah.
$35. Or you could buy each individual, like the basic bulk, and then the two expansion passes for 10 and then 15 and 15. So you could end up spending $40 on it instead of 35, bundling it up.
Yeah.
But
Either
it does
way,
stop there. There's no like microtransaction of, oh, would you like to continue playing today's puzzles? Would you
right.
like to add more puzzles for today? I haven't seen that as a microtransaction, so it is
That's
very
good.
limited.
Okay.
But
But
like you
still,
mentioned, it
yeah,
probably could skew that way very quickly
it
if it
could
wanted to.
happen. Always the risk you're taking. But yeah, so parents, just keep your eyes on that,
Yeah.
maybe.
But it is daily. It's meant to have two different puzzles each day. Uh, but unless you buy the passes, then you can do unlimited puzzles continuously and grow your levels.
Cool. Sounds simple, but could be fun.
Could be fun. But speaking of fun,
Hmm.
you now get to talk to me about the game the internet will not shut up about.
I am so excited I get to talk about Donkey Kong Bonanza because yes, believe the hype. This game is insane. It is bioengineered to be fun at all times. Like that is this game's one goal, and it aces that goal over and over and over again. So, as it's been reported on, and as you may know, this team is the same team that brought us Super Mario Odyssey. It very much follows Super Mario Odyssey's kind of vague structure where it's like you're not in a big open world, but you are sent into levels basically that are their own open worlds. So you can pretty much go anywhere you want. There are main objectives, but you don't have to really do them. You can just kind of wander around finding secrets and make your fun that way if you don't necessarily care about advancing the story, quote unquote, what story there is. So yeah, you can just kind of find yourself just getting lost in the environment, finding these bananas and just like lose hours. You can just be like, oh, wait. And then realize at some point, oh, wait, I was supposed to. The thing is saying I should go over there and talk to this dude, but I'm having too much fun. The other reason why it's fun is the digging mechanics. It feels so good to dig in this game. You can dig down, you can dig up, you can dig towards you, behind you, you name it. And most of the surfaces are diggable. This includes, oh, someone's house. Yeah, you can break into someone's house and just like tear the entire thing down. Oh, there's this like beach area on the side of the level. Yeah, you can just completely like demolish the entire beach and go several layers below and just continuously find more gold, more coins, and potentially hidden bananas. Oh, you want some sort of direction about where to find the next banana? Well, if you use Donkey Kong's ground slap, it acts as like sonar and it shows you a brief outline of any bananas or other valuable materials nearby. So everywhere you go, everywhere you dig, there's potentially stuff you could find. So, like I said, some people are talking about their experience with the game being like, yeah, I'm not even like past the second level because I guess keep digging. I just keep digging and finding stuff, and I just don't want to stop. It's cathartic in a way, honestly, the digging mechanic.
Make everything a parking lot, flatten it
Yeah,
all.
pretty much. You're paving paradise, man. Donkey Kong doesn't care. So there is a little bit of a plot. So you do end up hanging out with Pauline, um, who is 13 here, and she's just a little anxious. She's not sure if she wants to sing and perform in front of a crowd. But as the game progresses, she gets more comfortable with that idea, and you unlock Donkey Kong's special Bonanza abilities by using, like, having Pauline basically perform a concert for you. So those range from just being a stronger Donkey Kong that can punch through concrete to a zebra Donkey Kong that can run very quickly over collapsing platforms, to a ostrich Donkey Kong that can fly, like glide over short distances. And there's more that I haven't even seen yet. I don't know how far I am into the game, but I've definitely spent a lot of time in it, and it just hasn't, it doesn't seem like it's close to wrapping up anytime soon. There's a lot of game here. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, I feel like it feels like there's more to talk about, but that's just because of actually playing it is so intrinsic to understanding what this game is, because you can kind of see it, but until you're actually like, oh, okay, I get it. I will say initially some of the mechanics are a little bit more complicated. It does take a little bit of a learning curve to learn what all the buttons do because it uses every single button on that Pro controller, let me tell you. Including the shoulder buttons and everything. Like, you have to pretty much know all the different ways you can wreck shit in order to wreck shit efficiently. And yeah, it takes a little bit of time to learn all of it. But once you have it mastered, you're just kind of a wrecking machine, and you can pretty much just take Donkey Kong through any surfaces you want. It's just dripping with style. It looks beautiful. Every level has like an interesting hook. The some of the secrets are just like, whoa, that was insane that was here. Like, oh, like I can't believe I managed to do that. There's some platforming challenges that did kind of give me a little bit of a challenge. I will say that the first handful of levels will seem fairly easy to anybody who's at least semi decent at platforming. I'm finally getting to the point in this game where it's getting to be a challenge, but it took me a while, I will say. So some people might think that it's a bit of an easy game for the first go, like a bit of it, which understandable. They want to ramp you up. Might be not just it just might not be as steep as a ramp as some people would want it to be. But yeah, I just think it's just a happy, beautiful, colorful game that just delivers fun at every corner. And yeah, I'm not seeing a whole lot of negatives so far, except for, like I said, a little bit of a control learning curve, and also the occasional blip in performance. There'll just be a random time where maybe with the camera is like zooming back in or zooming out on something, there'll be a little bit of a frame rate jump. That's something that could easily be patched later. When asked in an interview, people from Nintendo basically said, yeah, any little bits of optimization like maybe still exists, and like there might be some work still need to be done, but we really just focused on the fun of the game before we focused on really every technical aspect. And yeah, you can definitely tell it's a little rough around the edges, which makes you think about the Switch 2 a little differently sometimes. But ultimately, like I said, I think it's something that could be patched out in the future update. I don't see it being inherent to the game's design. But yeah, otherwise, Bonanza, definitely the killer app. I think it's better than Mario Kart. I think this is the reason to get a Switch 2. At
Ooh, those are strong words there.
least so
So it's
far.
not just that it's the new thing, it's the new shiny
Yeah,
thing.
I
It's a
think it's
really
that
well
good.
done game.
I think it's a really, really good game. I'm having more fun with this than I did Mario Odyssey. I thought Odyssey was a little more difficult for me, and I was having a harder time. And I think literally it is just for me the mechanics they've given Donkey Kong and the freedom of digging everywhere is just more fun, again, to me, than running around as Mario and jumping on Cappy and the stuff that made Odyssey work. Again, a lot of people will disagree with me. A lot of people love Odyssey, and a lot of people love being Mario, and I get it. But I'm having more fun with Donkey Kong here.
Alright. Sounds like a banana of a good time.
Yes.
All right. Uh, so I guess you played mostly that then.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much that's the only video game I played. Yeah.
Okay.
Dominated video game time.
All right. I went into my treasure trove of games, bucket list games that I should play. Never got
Yeah.
around to it, or never had a reason to or want to play it. But I went around and I finally got around to playing a relatively old game, relatively classic game. Some may say it is why video games can be classified as art.
Okay.
A game I probably should have played more than 10 years ago because it came out, I think, 2002, 2004.
Wow.
Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, a game that you think, oh, clearly you've played that game before, but no, I've actually never played Shadow of the Colossus. I've actually never seen anyone play Shadow of the Colossus. That's kind of been, I don't know why like I've been avoiding it. Maybe it's just because it doesn't feel like my game. And mostly I was kind of right. It's like an open, like pre-Zelda Breath of the Wild openness to it. Um, Running around and there's not a whole lot to do. It's kind of like a boss rush.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
Mm.
I was not expecting the very minimal dialogue going into it.
Hmm.
I think it's beautiful. I think it looks great. I think the simple mechanics actually play to its advantage. And the fact that I was able to beat it in 7 hours, just goes to like, oh, there is something good here. I see why people like this game, why it's considered a classic. Uh, I kind of would like more. I think just because as video games have gotten on, that there is just more to do now in current and modern video games. Going back to a game like that, it does feel open and kind of empty. I'm like, okay, I'm just running, waiting to get to the next boss battle. So, kind of a bit of more
Mm.
better appreciation for current games. Give me stuff to do along the route to do like the end, like boss battle.
Yeah. No, yeah. I have also not played this, but I've seen a lot of footage of it over the years, and I kind of roughly understand just from that and from hearing people talk about it what you're expected to do. And yeah, I think that isolation feeling between bosses essentially is on purpose. It's supposed to make you feel like, oh, make you think about what you're doing because that's ultimately where that game goes. Is you're kind of
Mhm.
trying to be like, hey, what? Why? Why am I climbing these guys and killing them? Like, okay, what's going on here? What's really the big picture? And so,
Yeah.
yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what you think when you get to the end of this.
Oh, I did
Because
get to the end. Like I said, I beat it.
oh, okay. Well, yeah, and then you did. Yeah. It is interesting. It's an interesting conceptual game. It's probably better conceptually than playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, especially.
Right, especially now, especially because one of the main controls is hang on to the Colossus while he's thrashing you around, and I'm like, okay, but please stop thrashing me around so I can at least stab you and kill you. But they're saying like, oh well, it's a living thing; it doesn't want to die. It's not going to want to stop and give you an opening. But at the same time, I'm like, video game, let me beat you and don't let me throw you off. So I have to like start all over and climb right
Right.
back up on top of you.
Yeah, again, I think that's probably purposeful, but like in the end, it just kind of leads to like, okay, well, I'm not really like having a great time. But should games always be fun? And
Yeah.
that's an important question to ask. And yeah, like depends, I guess.
Yeah. Should you have a good time killing these beings who are just existing and you just come in and like wreck their shit
Yeah, yeah.
just because some omnipotent faceless being told you you should go do this? Does play into the Bioshock kind of feeling of why are you doing all this? Because someone told me to.
Right, exactly.
But
Yeah. They,
is that
in fact,
right?
I remember people around the time of BioShock citing Shadow of the Colossus like they kind of did this first. This isn't a
Mhm.
total original story, but so many people hadn't played it that
Yep.
it was new to them when BioShock came out. And so
Right.
yeah.
Because if you haven't played before, it's new to you,
Well, next you gotta go to the Last Guardian then, right?
which is also on the list. Yes.
I'm kidding. I from what I understand is that one is a little bit more unruly somehow than this game.
Right, because that was a PS2 game announcement that turned into a PS3 launch title
Right.
that
Yeah.
eventually came out for the PS4
Yeah. I don't know. Well,
in a
good luck
long
on
cycle.
good luck on the rest of your journey through what's his name?
Eco,
Fumito Ueda. But yeah, like his games. Oh yeah, you ever play is it Eco or
Eco,
Ico?
Ico.
Ico?
I always
Eco?
called it Eco.
It might be Eco. I don't know. but I've never played that either. Actually, I take that back. I've never played it in its entirety, but I did play a bunch of it at a Best Buy kiosk back in the day. And I will remember thinking, wow, I don't get this game at all. So yeah,
Yeah,
good luck on that
hard to
one
get
too.
to a game with a silent protagonist.
Right. Anyways, well, cool. There you go. Video game history lesson for
Anyways,
the day.
yeah, could finally like check that box in my gaming catalog.
Exactly.
All right, let's get if nothing else in video games, let's move over into television. Start
Yes.
television with the Sports Corner. Do. And we had an opening this
Did.
past weekend. The Open of Golf, aka the British Open, has a new slash no, it's a new. It's his first time winning this thing. Scotty Scheffler officially won the British Open with a -17 score under par. This does mean he is now 3/4 of the way to a career Grand Slam. The one trophy that has eluded him is the U.S. Open. He technically came in second back in, I think it was 2017, but has not won that one to officially round out the Grand Slam of golf. So next time the
Okay.
U.S. Open, all eyes are on Scotty. Is the pressure too much for him? To be fair, same thing happened to Rory McIlroy, where he was only missing the U.S. Open for the past 10 years. Maybe
Right. He
Scotty can do it
eventually got
in
it.
your time. Yeah, he got it this year. Just took him a while.
So just give him some time.
All right. Well, yeah. Uh, golf.
Golf.
Yep. Speaking of people who are no longer golfing, NFL players are back at training camp starting this week. And news to everyone, we are under 10 days away from the first official NFL game.
Wow.
9 days. Starting from this podcast here, 9 days until the Chargers and Lions meet in the Hall of Fame game on the end of the month, July 31st. It's happening. It's here. Get your mock draft time going. It's a fun mock draft timing.
Let me enjoy baseball while I still have it.
Yeah, you get another 9 days to enjoy baseball.
Why? Before the trade apocalypse occurs?
Exactly, because in MLB, the trade deadline will occur on that exact same day. End of the
Yes.
month, July 31st. No more trades allowed. Uh, and we'll see who ends up where by that time.
Yep.
Maybe some teams will get better. Maybe someone will pick up the Colorado Rockies players and save them from the hell they're in.
Who knows? As of right now, though, I'm really curious to see if any of the deadline deals will beat the Devers deal, which people still can't shut up about. Like that was such an early salvo that like everybody's being like, well, now what? We already had the big news one.
Mhm.
What's left to do? But I feel like yes, there are still some bombshells yet to drop. Just what and who they will be, we'll have to wait. I don't really know. I feel like all the rumors that I've heard seem like, yeah, right. I haven't heard any that are like, yeah, that's definitely going to happen. I could see a lot of team closers getting dealt. But yeah, I just don't know. I don't know.
I mean, it depends on what happens this week because don't forget the MLB draft happened
Yes,
last week. So new players are being signed to teams and
right.
being brought into that system. And we could
Yes.
see them come next month or even in September toward as playoff pushes start to occur.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I don't know.
you
I
gotta be
mean,
pretty good to go immediately to the show.
or you just have to be in the angel system to the anyway. Yeah, I don't know. I legitimately don't know this year. I feel like there's anything can happen. And which could be very exciting or very, very scary, depending on who you are and what team you're a fan of.
Yeah, because you could be a fan of the Brewers who are currently on a 10-game win streak and enjoying
Yes.
and riding high and being like, yeah, this is it. This is the shot. We're slingshotting up the rankings right now.
Yes, they in fact are now holding on to the top spot. in their division, which is exciting. So yeah, just a matter of time before they're the team to beat. Um, Meanwhile, the wild card situation in every division is just an absolute shit show
Yeah, you
still.
got like three
So
teams that are 2 games out, several more teams that are like 4 games out.
right.
It's like, oh, everything could change within a week.
Yeah, it's really going to be interesting between the trade deadline and just seeing how games play out. I will be at one of those exciting games on Saturday night. I will be at the Angels Mariners games. If they can manage to get this series against the Mariners, they will take a chunk out of their wild card spots and gain some ground for the first time. It could be cool.
I don't
But we'll
know,
see.
but you'll get to see Big Dumper,
The biggest of
the
the
biggest
dumpers. I will get
of
to
the
see his
dumpers.
dumper in real life. Your
Uh,
home run derby champ, the big dumper.
Maybe I'll go too.
I don't know. Hey, you do you. Get that corduroy hat.
Yes, but you gotta be the first 10,000 people.
Yeah, we're gonna hopefully go early. Anyway, we'll see. Yeah, baseball.
Anyways,
Exciting things happening in baseball.
yes, unless you're the
Oh,
Rockies, in which case there
yes.
are players who have a batting average better than your win percentage.
Ouch. Yeah, with the 24 and 75 record, they are not doing well. They're not
Oh,
doing
they're
hot.
sitting at a pretty 2.42 win percentage, which doesn't make you an all-star in any sense of the word.
No, get your game on and go play is what I have to say to them. What I'm going to mention real quick before we get out of baseball is on the softball side of things. This is the last proper week of AUSL softball. The championship games will occur on the 26th and 27th this upcoming weekend. They will be broadcast on ESPN. So if you have ESPN, unlike me, you will be able to enjoy it. But yeah, check that out. Will be the Talons and the Bandits in the final series. There will be a game three if needed
If they
on the
split,
following day.
yeah,
So there you
if
go.
they split, best of 3 series, and it's exciting. Yeah, we have
Yeah,
a new champion. We to crown our inaugural champion.
I would love to watch this,
Yeah, maybe on Saturday they'll have it on TV.
but I can't because I don't have ESPN or a way to get ESPN without paying for cable, unfortunately. So I'll have to figure something out. But what are you gonna do?
Unfortunately.
Anyway,
Anyways, speaking of trade deadlines and MLB, one last bit of news: NBA free agency frenzy. The season has ended. Players have been drafted, and now anyone whose contract is expiring or does not want to sign to with their team is now up for restricted and unrestricted free agents. The team with the most moves is your Los Angeles Clippers, who have brought back Chris Paul to the team, joining him with James Harden and the weird beard and Beal.
yeah,
And they've signed like 7 other players. They basically signed like an entire front five, starting five, just in free agency. A lot of them are aging, a lot of them are older players, but a lot of them are name recognized players because they got a new owner in a new stadium, and you put butts in seats and sell jerseys. And the way you do that is with name recognition. Doesn't matter if they're old, names will get people to that stadium. And they went a spending,
yeah, sounds like
and
it.
only to be knocked out of the playoffs in the first round. But hey,
Oops.
oops, we'll see what happens. I think that's it for sports.
Okay. Well, if that's it for sports. Well, then we'll move on into some television news. And our television news this week is a Paramount double whammy. Two big stories came out of the big mountain, Paramount Mountain, this week. And we'll start with the one that's similar to the Coldplay story you may have already heard about because it was everywhere this week. CBS is officially getting out of the late night talk show business and will end the current Emmy nominated, highest rated late night talk show on television in May of 2026. CBS says the decision was financial. CBS says the decision was financial,
Yes.
saying, quote, we consider Stephen Colbert irreplaceable and will retire the late night show franchise in May of 2026. So, yes, you heard that right. It is not just the current incarnation of the Late Show starring Stephen Colbert, it is also the entire Late Show format, meaning that that time will be taken up by some other programming to be determined. In unrelated news, dot dot dot, Colbert has been a vocal critic of the political quagmire created by the impending merger between Skydance Media and CBS owner Paramount Global, as well as of CBS's payment of $16 million to Donald Trump to settle a lawsuit claiming election interference. There has been growing speculation that both Colbert and Jon Stewart, who host sister show on Comedy Central, The Daily Show, each week, could be under growing scrutiny from executives at Skydance who are maybe less hot on a property that is saying so many things that they're not necessarily comfortable with. The network recently canceled After Midnight, a companion program that aired after Late Show and featured comedian Taylor Tomlinson. Asterisk here. I'm going to put an editor's note. Technically, that cancellation did not happen because of the network. That happened
It
because
was
Taylor Tomlinson opted out of a next season. So I'm just going to note that technically predates this, although presumably if there had been a third season, it may have also ended in conjunction with this Stephen Colbert deal. That's my guess.
also Asterisk After Midnight was created to replace the Late Late Show with James
Right.
Corden because CBS axed that show
Yes.
as well.
It lends some credence to CBS's claims because it does seem to prove that they were on track to start putting cheaper shows in those time slots, but still doesn't really explain why you would kill your most successful show, arguably. But anyway, well, the Writers Guild of America isn't necessarily buying what Paramount is selling here and called for the company to be investigated for bribery by a New York State attorney by the New York State Attorney General following Thursday's announcement that about the cancellation. So whether or not it goes that far, there are like plenty now internet conspiracy theories about exactly the why behind all of this. It could have been financial. It could have been that they just think that the late show format is dying. It could be that they have some great idea in the background about what else they could use to use that time. It could be politically motivated. It could be that it got too expensive. There's so many possible options here. Um, and none seem to really explain the whole thing. I think ultimately the real answer is probably you put all that stuff in one giant blender, and CBS is uncomfortable about that going into this Paramount merger.
You mean money is the answer?
Ultimately, yeah, it always is, right?
What we say
Unfortunately,
here?
that's the deal.
It's a business.
It's
That's
just
right.
baffling because you're
Oh yeah.
killing an institution at this point. It's not just a television show, it's a television show with decades of history beyond even Stephen Colbert. Like, it just makes you rethink kind of what CBS is even trying to do if they're not moving their legacy forward. The last bastion now remains NBC, and I guess ABC still has their shows. Jimmy Kimmel still exists,
Yes,
but
but his
really,
contract is ending next year as well.
yeah, I would much, I feel like I'm more comfortable saying that NBC will hold on to their properties than ABC will. I think that if SNL is any proof, NBC will hold on to these things until they rot off the vine, regardless of their quality for years and years and years. I don't
Oh,
think
come
that
on. Seth Meyers isn't that terrible.
I like Seth Meyers. I like him a whole lot more than Jimmy Fallon, that's for sure. But yeah, so who knows what ultimately this all means? But for now, it definitely is a scary moment for television and has a lot of it's a thing that evokes a lot of feelings from a lot of different kinds of people. And like, yeah, it's sad to see an institution like this go.
Uh, this does mean that Stephen Colbert is going to be unleashed for the next year because what are they going to do? Fire him?
What's he gonna do? Yeah, I don't, like that's the thing is like he's Stephen Colbert. He can literally do anything he wants. Like I saw a lot of people already starting to say like, don't worry about him. Netflix is going to grab him the second he's free. Like this guy is not going anywhere. He will be the host of something.
I mean, David Letterman literally hosts his own show on Netflix.
Right.
My next guest needs no introduction.
Right. So like Colbert's going to make a deal. He will not disappear forever. This is what he wants to do. He will find a way to continue doing it. If not on CBS, somewhere else.
And if not, he can always live under the desk with Jon Stewart.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. He's just gonna hide under there, camp out with his friends.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the second
Maybe
story,
he'll
which
grow a beard too.
maybe I could see it. I could see it.
He tried a mustache, get rid of it the next day.
Yeah, I can't. It doesn't strike me as a mustache guy. Let's talk about a couple of people who don't have to worry about their job security
Well,
because
they
they just
were
got
worried for
paid.
a while.
Well, worried is an interesting thing to say about people who are basically almost billionaires and maybe are now, because we're talking about a shoe finally dropping for Trey Parker and Matt Stone. We've talked a lot about their ongoing dispute with their many different companies that they've been in business with. And finally, Paramount has paid up. According to a report in the Los Angeles Times, the Emmy and Oscar nominated duo of Parker and Stone, the longtime masterminds behind Comedy Central's animated romp. Calling it a romp seems wrong. South Park,
Okay, animated institution.
yes, institution at this point, have reached a groundbreaking 5-year deal with Paramount for the global streaming rights to their iconic animated series. Valued at $300 million per year, the agreement would total a staggering $1.5 billion, according to the newspaper. As a result of the new agreement, South Park Season 27's premiere was delayed by 2 weeks to July 23rd, tomorrow, as of this recording. The new deal with Parker and Stone's Park County production company would bring regular South Park episodes to Paramount Plus in the US for the first time, marking a major strategic shift for the long-running animated satirical program. Previously, it had not been basically available on a streaming service the day after. This is new with this deal.
Mhm.
Warner Brothers Discovery's HBO Max had previously maintained the exclusive streaming rights to the series. They had had the back catalog, as well as new episodes that were added later. Although Paramount Plus has aired several South Park event specials as part of a side deal that Parker and Stone made with them specifically. Again, if you've been following the story here at the podcast, you know all of this already, but this is just a little recap. But yes, that Max deal expired last month, which means if you want any South Park, new, old, specials, etc., you will now have to go to Paramount Plus.
Unless you want to watch it live on
Right,
Comedy
on
Central.
Comedy Central. I mean, this is where it was going to end up anyways. It was weird that they made a deal with Warner at all. Like, honestly, like they just did it because Paramount didn't want to pony up, right? That was basically what it was.
Well, yeah, and Paramount Plus wasn't a thing yet.
Right. Well,
It
CBS
was
All
still
Access
fresh.
was, but they didn't have the expanded universe of Paramount
Yes.
properties yet.
Mhm. Right. Plus, because of a deal made back in 2007, when they were first, internet was still in its infancy, Trey Parker and Matt Stone negotiated the exclusive rights to put things on a digital front,
Right.
all digital fronts, which is why they hosted them on the South Park Studios website online for free.
Hmm.
And that's why it wasn't available on streaming anywhere until the HBO Max deal for $500 million that they were allowed to do that because they negotiate those rights separately from the broadcast rights, which is what Paramount owns through Comedy Central.
Right. Right. They,
But yeah, apparently this was originally supposed to be a $3 billion deal, and it makes sense because they also wanted another 10-year deal like they got before for the streaming rights. But now that's on a 5-year deal for 1.5 billion. That's where you still get the 300 million per year. Uh, they originally wanted 10 years for 3 billion, maybe 5 billion as well, just because of how lucrative that South Park name and branding is.
yeah.
Um, but Paramount, I think because they were in the middle of these negotiations with Skydance Media, that they do have to be part of these negotiations, don't want to pay for a 10-year contract, especially if we don't know what it's going to look like in the media landscape 10 years out from now, that they
Yeah.
want a 5-year deal, It's not like sports where you have to lock it in for 10 years, 15 years, in some cases 20 years. Looking at you, Olympics, just because they are every year. They are doing constantly new things. Maybe Matt Stone, Trey Parker just one day decide that they want to end it. They don't want to do it anymore. They can do
Yeah.
that
Who knows when that's going to be?
if they want to do that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
we'll
300
see.
million a year to continuously make fun of your
Anything.
boss,
Yeah, anything that they want.
anything they want.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how and when they decide to add this to South Park canon.
Yes, indeed. We will see. It probably won't take
Uh,
very long.
no, I believe this will take them, if they do all through 5 years, through 400 episodes if they're not there already.
Wow. Okay. Expect more. Even more. South
Yep.
Park. All right.
Yeah,
That's it for
that puts a
television
nice
news.
bow on that deal. However,
Yes.
the HBO Max lawsuit is still going forward.
Still go. Yes. Well, we'll see how that goes. All right, that does it for television news. As you noticed, I eliminated the bear again because I still haven't finished it.
Yeah, you did.
Sorry. So any other television we want to talk about?
No, I know I've said I was going to watch Stick on Apple Plus. Have not watched that yet.
Okay.
Have you started watching that at all?
Yes, we are about halfway through that
Okay.
first season. So yeah, we'll talk about it when I finish it and when you finish it, I guess.
We might talk about it next week. We're going to finish up one of our programs because we only have 2 episodes left, and then probably start that because we need a palate cleanser.
I'm sorry, one of your programs?
Yes.
How old are you?
Well, the show's like ended like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Our stories.
Yeah, exactly. That's the same vibe, honestly. Your programs.
Yeah.
I must go home and watch my programs.
Yeah. My stories need me.
Stories. All right. Anyways, let's move on then into cancellations and renewals.
What am I no longer watching?
Well, as mentioned above in the news, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert has been canceled. Its 33rd season, which will bring it to May of 2026, will be its final, and it'll be done after that. No more.
Yep. It says me that the Late Show will have two proper hosts. Count them one, two. One David Letterman and one Stephen Colbert.
That's it.
And that's end of list.
Yep. End of list. Next up, Netflix is bringing back King of Collectibles, The Golden Touch, for a third season.
More collectibles.
More collectibles.
Maybe
The
they got those
Ultimatum.
Lubaloos on there.
I'm sorry, but what did you say they were called?
Oompa Loompas.
One more time.
Lullabies.
You're getting closer. Labubu's. They're
Bless you.
Labubus. Just imagine Yogi Bear's little friend.
Yes. What's the matter with you,
Mhm.
Labubu?
Exactly. All right. The Ultimatum, Marry or Move On. We'll get a fourth season on Netflix. Is that just the Ultimatum? I didn't realize it had a subtitle.
No, it's still the ultimatum, but it's
Okay.
always been the ultimatum. Call it marry or move on.
I didn't realize it even had. Nobody calls it that. They just call it the Ultimatum.
Well, yeah, but that's what ultimatum is: marry or move
Marry
on.
or Move On. All right. Invincible on Prime Video will get a fifth season.
Mhm.
Vanderpump Villa will get a third season on Hulu.
Yes, but they will probably change up locations out of Italy.
Uh-huh.
No word on where that will be, but yes, it will be a new location come third season.
Okay, thank you for the Vanderpump update.
You're
Our
welcome.
Vanderpump
I'm here for a
correspondent.
Vanderpump update.
Yeah, Vanderpump correspondent, Mike over here.
Well, yeah, I mean, because I already talked about how the next Vanderpump Rules is going to have a entirely different cast because the old cast got replaced due to one age and two contract and two just so much goddamn drama going on that's both juicy and annoying. And you don't want to hear any of
Juicy.
this.
Yeah, no, juicy and annoying, just how I like it. That's what I always want. Let's move into deaths. Wow, hard pivot.
Yes.
Um, yeah, some rough ones this week.
Mhm.
One of them that actually happened earlier today. We'll get there in a moment. First up, Malcolm Jamal Warner, age 54, super young. Most known for his role on The Cosby Show, but also a comedian in his own right. Did a lot of guest and other spots on stand-up shows and sitcoms and all sorts of other pieces of media over the years. Yeah, definitely a rough one for that young.
Mhm.
We also have Joanna Bacon, age 72, an actor, was in Love Actually and Breeders, among other
Yeah,
things.
British actor. If you thought she was old in Love Actually, which was 20 years ago, I mean, she was only 50 at the
Only
time.
in her 50s, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, like good, great British actor. Not really here, not here in the
Cool.
States, but definitely amongst British television and movies.
Got it. And then last, but definitely not least, we lost him just earlier today. None other than James Michael Ozzy Osbourne, uh, age 76. He acted on the side. You may remember him as a member of the first family of reality television back in the 2000s on the
Yeah,
Osbournes.
he was the dad in The Osbournes.
Yeah, turns out. You also may have seen him in occasional cameo roles in films such as Austin Powers Goldfinger, or not Goldfinger, right? Goldmember.
Yeah,
You wrote it wrong.
Gold member.
Goldfinger is the real movie. Goldmember
Member is
is
the
the
parody.
parody. Uh, but of course, you really know him as, of course, a metal god and a rock legend, singer from Black Sabbath, and then, of course, his solo career, and of course, created Ozfest, the festival that brought the most grungy metalheads you've ever seen into one place every year. Yeah, obviously, just a legacy that I don't really need to expound upon because everybody knows Ozzy Osbourne. Everybody has seen him. Everybody knows him. Everybody knows what he sounds like. Everybody has a parody of him saying Sharon. Like you name it. Like everybody has like a thing that they associate Ozzy with. So yeah, definitely a
Yep.
legend that will be missed.
Whether it's Sharon, whether it's bleeps, whether it's his scream, his yell, his
Yep.
music, his bats, his costume, his
Yeah.
look, his outfit, his black
Yeah.
throne.
Eating that head off that bat that he didn't know was real.
Yep.
Let's see. The riff from Crazy Train. Come on. So yeah, he
Yep.
will definitely be remembered.
All aboard.
Oh, for yes. All right. Anyway,
Yeah. Uh,
move on.
anyways, he was literally rocking up until even a
Yeah.
couple of weeks ago with his farewell tour.
Yes. A lot of people are sharing footage of that today, and it does seem like everybody's like, yeah, no, I think he knew because
Mhm.
he was like giving it his all. Like he knew he was like at least wrapping it up, if not going soon. And I think he knew that that was going to be the last big performance he was ever going to do. And he left it all out on the stage. So good for Ozzy.
Yeah. I believe his festival ended up raising like $200 million.
Yes,
I believe
yes.
it's for cancer research.
I believe
Is it
you're
cancer or
correct.
Parkinson's? Because he had
Yeah.
Parkinson's.
So yeah, either way, definitely one of the coolest things you can do as a rock star is end your career by just giving a bunch of your money to charity. Like, why
Mhm.
not, right? Just let it go. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about movies in our last segment here. And we always talk about the movie segment by starting with the weekend box office.
So here is where I finally, like
Yes.
the Angels, get over the 500 hump. Well, no, not 500 hump.
No, no.
No, I'm still under, but at least I'm I'm out of your
Yes.
shadow.
Yes, you won the bet this week because we bet a $75 million over or under how Superman would do in its second week at number one. Well, we were right about being number one, but we were wrong about 75 mil. It was under that by about 20 at $57 million this weekend. I would say I tried to help, but I saw it on Monday, so my number didn't even count.
To be
So
fair, your non-help is why it went 235 because while yes, it did do 57 million over the 3-day weekend, it did 100 million over the week.
yeah, pretty good. So yeah, you were right about the word of mouth, but just the number we just chose was way too high. And you were actually right the first time when you said 60. You were right
Yes.
by the $3 million off. So, oh well. But yes, that is your number one movie, making 57 million this week. Like you said, that is at 235 million domestic. Number two, Jurassic World Rebirth, still here, $23 million. That's at 276. Number three, I Know What You Did Last Summer, debuted to a slightly disappointing $13 million. That's it. So you were right about,
What? You mean the known brand horror
yeah,
movie only did
yes,
13 million?
but you were right about summer not being the best time for this movie. Like, this should have been an earlier or later in the year release, and they didn't wait.
Hmm.
Number four, Smurfs made $11 million in its debut. No one cared about Smurfs.
No one cared about Rihanna as Smurfette.
Yeah. And number five, F1 the movie, $9.6 million. That's at $153 million domestic. The dads are still showing up for a little bit of F1
Yes.
screenings.
Brad is still pitting it.
Yes, but the pit is still being bratted. All right. But of course, everything get out of the way because Marvel's back in town this weekend. It is the big launch of the Fantastic Four First Steps, the biggest Marvel movie in recent memory. At least they're hoping it will be. I have seen no early reactions yet. They're keeping these cards very close to the chest. I have no idea if this is what Disney needs this to be.
To be fair, you would keep them close too if the last two Marvel movies were Thunderbolts, aka New Avengers,
Right.
and Captain America Brave the World.
Yes. Two movies that just failed to live up to their expectations, either critically or financially. So, yeah, we'll see. Ultimately, this is a big wait and see.
It's a big wait and see, but this is Marvel's first family. This is the last film scheduled for the year, and really until next summer, when supposedly Spider-Man Brand New Day comes out in July. I say supposedly because that may get removed. They get moved. I don't know.
Yeah, they definitely
Uh,
do get moved.
but this is like the last Marvel thing before one, Spider-Man, but two, the next Avengers film coming out next December. This is supposed to set up both Doom and Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, who will be a leading factor in those Avengers movies.
Hmm.
People do have uh, varying degrees of nostalgia for the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, that's true.
So with that, I'm gonna say, will it do better than Superman? Superman debuted to 125 million. Will it do over or under Superman?
I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out. But that's where I'm putting the number at 125.
Yeah.
You
Uh,
said over last week, so it's my turn to choose.
yes, it is.
And with Marvel's track record, I don't think it's gonna pass Superman.
Okay.
I just I've seen numbers floating around the 100 million mark. I think we're gonna go at or around that for
Okay.
opening weekend. So I don't think it goes over Superman. I think DC will win this summer for the box office, and I'm putting it under 125.
All right. Okay. I'm okay with this. I have a feeling that people maybe do care about Fantastic Four, and I think that maybe this is the one that gets them back in theaters. But we've been saying that over and over again for years now, and I just don't know how many times we can say it until maybe you can't say it anymore. But yeah, Superman surprised everybody, and so maybe that has lightened everybody's feeling about superhero movies in general. Maybe it is really the tide like brings up all boats, right?
Maybe
Like maybe
Superman did reinvigorate the
yeah,
superhero genre.
I bet Disney's crossing their fingers that it did. So yeah,
Yes.
I'm okay with taking the over the third week in a row here because it's
Okay.
worked so well for me so far. All right. Let's move on. We got other movies to talk about because we have some movie bits.
The bits, the bits, the
The
bits.
bits indeed. Our first bit takes us to the world of video games for a brief second again, as we talk about one of Nintendo's biggest franchises, The Legend of Zelda. Well, they have finally confirmed one of the big questions about that upcoming Legend of Zelda film. Who's gonna be Link and Zelda? Well, we have our Link and Zelda cast. We have Zelda being played by Bo Baragasson, who you may have seen if I guess you like British stuff, in Renegade Nell and the Jetty. And Link will be Benjamin Evan Ainsworth, also British, and was in The Haunting of Bly Manor. So the film is scheduled to be released in theaters May 7th, 2027. Jurassic World's Derek Connolly is writing the screenplay, while Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Wes Ball is still set to direct.
Yes,
Still
not
don't
Wes Bowl.
really.
That's
Yes,
a completely different actor or
Wes
director.
Ball. Wes Ball.
Yes,
Yeah, I still don't really know what to think about this. A lot of people are saying, "Will Link speak?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course he
yes,
will. It's a movie. Get over yourself."
yes. Link will speak.
Yeah,
His first
get used
words
to
will be, "Hello,
it.
is it me you're looking for?"
Yeah, turns out he's just doing
Yes,
what's
a
his
good
name?
Lionel Richie
Yeah,
rendition.
Lionel Richie impression the whole time. No one saw that
I mean,
coming.
he is British, so we could go the other with "Hello,
Yeah,
it's me."
yeah. I thought
Fill
that's what
some
you were gonna
Adele there.
do, honestly. I thought that was a British joke you were making. You really turned a left turn on that one.
Yeah, I wrapped it
Um,
all back around.
I don't know. Now that I've seen pictures of these two, yeah, sure. The casting works for me. I think she looks like Zelda. I think people are being too hard on her online, as they always are with women.
As they are.
Makes you think. But yeah, I think she's fine. I think she looks like a Zelda. I don't know. I don't have
I don't
anything to
know.
say
I
about the
think they're
dude. He's
going
got
with
a
a
square
Breath of the
jaw.
I think they're going with like a Breath of the Wild look and feel.
Yeah,
They have lots of
yeah,
lore to choose from, depending on where
yeah.
they set this.
Makes sense.
But yeah, we don't have to wait until 2027,
Yeah, I think
hopefully,
it's a
for this to be
no-brainer to
released.
set this with in a Breath of the Wild kind of vibe because
Mhm.
I know we're old, but you can't like discount how popular The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is. It is probably the biggest Zelda game ever. Just because we're ancient and we think about Ocarina of Time a lot does not mean that that's not the one that people now associate with The Legend of Zelda, because it very much is.
Also, you don't do Ocarina of Time first, you do it
No.
third.
Yeah,
So
everybody
that
knows
way,
that.
after the end of the trilogy, you can split it up into any way you want to
Right.
go.
Timelines.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you have Wind Waker the movie, which is really what I'm waiting for. All right. Let's move on to the next bit. Disney's live-action Lilo and Stitch remake is the year's first Hollywood release to hit $1 billion at the worldwide box office. After just 8 weekends in theaters, the family comedy has grossed $416.1 million in North America alone and another $584.8 million internationally for a global tally of 1.001 billion. Meanwhile, China's blockbuster Ne Zha 2, however, remains by far the biggest film of 2025 globally, with $1.899 billion in the bank. It will take
And
some
that
time,
number will only go
only
up.
rise. So yeah, we won't play catch up here in America with that number, but at least we can get number two.
We'll see. Because Niza 2 trailer for the US release got released this today.
Yeah.
Uh, that will be released by A24 for US. No word if they're going to release Neza 1.
No, just going into straight into
Just
two.
go straight to 2. Be like, wait, did
Yeah.
I miss the first one?
Who knows what's happening? Just it two is where it's at apparently.
Yes.
Did they say that are they going to dub this or this is going to be
Yeah,
subtitled?
English dub. Yeah.
They're going to dub this? Okay. I
Mhm.
know nothing about it, so besides that it's the most successful
No,
movie
I
in the
saw
world.
like a couple of weeks ago that they were going to dub it. A24 won that bid. And then
Hmm.
today I saw a trailer for it. So they moved
Okay.
fast on it.
They did. They moved fast. Speaking of moving fast, Odyssey. Tickets for The Odyssey from director Christopher Nolan are on sale for the first IMAX 70 millimeter screenings for 1 year from now. So when the movie comes out in a year. Christopher Nolan shot The Odyssey entirely with IMAX film cameras. 18 out of 26 theaters around the world with IMAX 70 millimeter theaters have been marked as sold out already. So they're moving quickly. Get those tickets now. Did you get your tickets?
No, because I'm not going to buy tickets 1 year out. Also, it's
Um,
for a 2 o'clock showing at the Irvine location here. I'm like, why would I do that?
middle of the day on the clock, you could just
Because
secretly.
I know where I'll be 1 year from now at the IMAX theater begging for a ticket.
Right. Yeah, pretty much. So just keep clicking. Just keep clicking and
No.
eventually
Hey,
will.
I got my oh wait, did I put it up there or did I take it down? I had it up there. My Oppenheimer 70 millimeter print
There you
images.
go. Yeah.
up
That's all
there.
you need. So yeah, I saw the very brief teaser trailer for this in front of Superman, and I was like, I still don't really know what this is, but okay, cool. I mean,
I mean,
I
you don't know
know
what
it's
this
the
is. It's
Odyssey.
the Odyssey.
You know what I mean, though.
I'm pretty sure it's just Christopher Nolan doing a shot for shot ode to the Odyssey,
I
which
mean, we'll see if it's
itself is
shot
an
for
ode.
shot. I don't know about that. He is Christopher Nolan here. I just
Yeah,
we've talked about it before on this podcast, but I have a feeling there's going to be something weird about his adaptation because he can't help himself. He can't
it's
tell a linear story if it bit him in the ass. He just can't.
no,
It's not
no, this is not
possible.
going to be a linear story. He doesn't tell linear
No,
stories.
he doesn't.
Here, all right, the big twist is that you're actually watching a school play of a father watching his son, and it's just his version of the school play being like shown to him, and he's having
Honestly,
this epic like thought of like what it is, but it's really just like a bunch of kids on stage doing the Odyssey.
honestly, if he doesn't do that, you need to put that in your pocket. Mail it to yourself. No one can steal that because that's
No,
your
so
idea.
when stuff doesn't make sense, that's all you have to explain is
Yeah.
just,
It
oh, they're
was a
just
play.
kids. They
It's a
don't know what
play.
they're
Yeah.
doing.
It's a play.
Yeah,
All right. Let's move on. Next up, Billie Eilish.
I know
Well,
her.
she's won a lot of Grammys, but Oscars, not so far, just the one. I should say she has won one Oscar.
Yes.
But she's going to be hanging out with some multiple Oscar winning company during her 4 night run in Manchester, announcing her new concert film. Because on Saturday at her sold out co op live show, the 9 time Grammy winner announced that she's working on a 3D project with James Cameron, of all people, during the stop on the Hit Me Hard and Soft tour in support of her third studio album. That
I'm
was
sorry,
a
the what tour?
the Hit Me Hard and Soft World
There you
Tour.
go.
Sorry, I had to say it like you say it.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a weirdly written blip there. Let me rephrase this so it makes sense. At her tour, mentioned that she's working with James Cameron on a 3D movie. That's really all there. That's the story. You could have really simplified this. But yeah,
Yes. The movie is of her tour, which will be coming to
yes,
theaters
right.
in 3D, directed by James Cameron.
It doesn't do a good job of explaining this, but yes. Sure, why not? I don't know why, but sure, why not?
Because movie concerts are in again, right?
They
Right?
were
Right?
last year. I think we declared 20, wait, no, that was 2 years ago, right? We declared 2023 the year of the concert film.
Yeah.
But so far, the last couple, like the year and a half since, there hasn't been really a whole lot of them. But I don't know. Last in the bits here, we have an update about Avatar: Fire and Ash, the upcoming live action, right?
It's CG, but yeah, great
CG live
Cameron
action
film.
film. Adaptation of like the next Avatar film. It will take the Odyssey approach and play its trailer in front of Fantastic Four First Steps this weekend, and will not be released online. Avatar: Fire and Ash, the third in the Avatar trilogy, is set to hit theaters on December 19th. Meanwhile, the fourth and fifth films, I guess I used trilogy by error just then, are set for December 21st, 2029 and December 19th, 2031, respectively.
Yes.
Sorry, my
So,
mouth had to wrap itself around 2031 as a year for a second there.
well, it's okay. If you remember,
Uh,
the first Avatar came out in
2009.
2009, and then Avatar Way of Water came out, well, it was supposed to come out during COVID and then didn't.
Yeah. The 21.
2022.
22? Okay.
Yeah. So now here we are 3 years later getting the third film, and then 4 years later getting the fourth film, only for 2 years after that to get the fifth film. So he's like at a more faster pace, but he also did shoot uh two and three and the first act of four back to back to back while the kids were young before he does his time skip in the fourth movie in order to age the kids up appropriately. So yeah, new trailer, Fire
Yeah.
and Ash will be this weekend. Expect hoots, hollers, boos, huhs, and oh yes in your
Yeah.
theater this weekend.
A variety. By the way, yeah, I misinterpreted this. I thought this was the other Avatar when I first started reading this, which is why I said adaptation, why I asked if it was live action. Now I realize which Avatar we're talking about. Sorry,
Yes,
my bad.
James Cameron's Avatar.
I wish they would call them different things. I'm sorry.
You would, except James Cameron copyright put in the copyright for Avatar back in the 90s before the animated show. So when the animated show came out and said Avatar, The Last Airbender, and was an animated TV show, it was not in a direct copyright competition with Avatar, the copyright name that James Cameron had.
Just confusing. That's all. Just confusing to us here on the podcast.
It
Speaking
makes
of the
perfect
podcast,
sense.
yeah, sure. I guess. We have one last thing that we need to talk about before we wrap this show up.
All right. So you took my advice
Yes, I did.
and you went to a theater.
Near me.
Yes, specifically near you. And you saw the movie everyone's talking about, Mr. Terrific.
No, it's that's not the name of the movie.
Sorry. Yes.
No,
You
believe it
saw
or not,
Mr. Corn Sweat.
yeah, I saw Mr. Sweaty Corn himself. What a great name for a guy who plays Clark Kent, though, when you think about it. Like what he probably did on the farm growing up with Ma and Pa, he's like he probably had a lot of corn sweat.
Yeah.
Um, I saw Superman, and yeah, everything that you said last week is true. I agree with you. I don't think it's a perfect movie. I think it's a very good movie. I don't think it's the best superhero movie I've ever seen. I think it just uses a little bit too much uh shaky CG, and also there was a handful of lines that were like, you don't really need to tell us what's happening. We can see it. That happened where to keep it from being like an S tier for me. But it's a pretty solid A, is what I will say. I think the performances are great. I think that, yeah, Mr. Corn, Sweaty Corn is a really good Superman. I was very convinced, as you mentioned last week, with that he just wants to be a good guy. That's like his whole thing. And like that is his character. And it really does cast a new light on Superman for all the people who are like, are naysayers about Superman. This Superman is really likable and relatable, which is not something you're used to saying about Superman, which we talked about last week, is like really quite a trick that you can pull on an audience to be like, yeah, you feel like you relate to Superman right now, don't you? And I was like, yeah, I do. I don't know how you manage that, but I do. This guy who is like so much more otherworldly powerful than a human being feels like often, and this is the point of the film, the most human character in the room. It really does lend that kind of contrast between him and the villains of the film, who are just so quick to give up their own morality for a quick buck, or an eventual buck, or an eventual mansion, or whatever it may be, or just revenge, as it turns out. It's just yeah, it's just this weird, like they pulled off that magic trick, which is by itself enough of a recommendation for this movie. I will say one thing that we didn't talk about last week, and I don't know if you will agree with me here. I think every single woman in this cast is misused. This script does not care about the women in this movie. Even Lois Lane, who gets the most screen time, does the most stuff, is constantly only doing it because Superman exists. It's either romantic stuff about Superman or it's reporting about Superman for an end goal, but also has to do with Superman. Even when she's in scenes with other characters doing things, it is to save Superman. It's just a little disappointing. I wanted her to have her own character, and really beyond scrappy reporter and love interest for Superman that has conflicted feelings about him. Those are the two dimensions she's allowed to have. She does not have any interiority in this film. I was kind of disappointed by that.
I
But
mean, her agenda is to like take down Lex Luthor, and she enlists
yeah,
the help of other people,
I guess.
other males around her to help her achieve her goal.
I
Yes.
guess, but I needed more about what she's like. Like who is she? Because like I feel like the movie is just not very interested in that. And then yeah, I mean, the movie doesn't do her dirty as much as it does dirty the other two main female characters though. Lex Luthor's girlfriend is basically a punchline until she's a plot point.
Mhm.
And I hated the stuff with her and Jimmy Olsen, minor spoilers. I just thought that was the most obvious. Like, yes, this is a minor twist on the Superman format. Yes. Is it a very clever one? No, it's not. It's kind of easy. And I think it was like we've seen that archetype at this point multiple times where it's like, oh, it's a joke because it's weird that somebody who is an Instagram model would be interested in the nerdy guy. Like we've seen how many times have we seen that? Like to me, it was not funny anytime they tried to do it. And they just kept trying it.
Yeah, but I guess that happens in the comics with Jimmy Olsen is that he is
Sure.
more or less a ladies' man who for unexplainable reasons women are
Yeah.
attracted to him and he's able to talk
Yeah.
with women and date them and
Which
be with them.
But again, which would have worked better, I think, if they had made her more of a character. But instead,
Mhm.
she is even more one dimensional. Like she is just one dimensional. She is basically like, oh, she takes selfies, and those selfies end up being a plot point because she ended up actually strategically taking pictures of things. But there's no other evidence that she would be like that the movie even bothers to give that she has any, again, any interiority. And then the worst, the one that gets the most dirty done is Hawk Girl. Is that her name? Because she's
Yes.
not really given any other identification. She barely has any screen time. She barely has any dialogue. The most interesting scene we get about her is the one scene where she is watching, like basically not in superhero garb, but she is at her home slash dorm room, is what I'm thinking, where you see some college textbooks on a table. I'm like, oh, they're communicating to the audience right now how old she is and what she is doing right now. And that's it. We get nothing else. And yes, before you start saying this, I realize that this is the opening salvo of what will become a universe of films, and we'll probably learn more about all these characters eventually. It's just for me, though, I kept thinking, wow, this movie really cares about the men and does not care about the women at all. Like every male character gets pathos, they get backstories, they get really detailed close ups. You get to know all about Lex Luthor, you get to know all about Superman, you even get to know all about like Green Lantern and a stupid bowl cut, and you get to learn all about Elemental Man or whatever his name is. Chemical Man, Elemental Man. What's this deal?
Oh, Metamorpho.
Metamorphosis Man? I forget what it is. Something
Metamorpho,
man,
yeah.
right? Anyway, you get to learn about him and he has a baby and like you could see him with his wife later. It's like, oh, okay. And then like presumably his wife, who knows? But yeah, like and then like yeah, as you mentioned, Mr. Terrific gets a lot of screen time and gets a lot of fun dialogue and is just having a blast in this thing, literally and figuratively. You get to know that he has to buy apparently those little flying spheres a la carte and they're very expensive. Even the dog gets a backstory. And then the nail in the coffin, and this will be a spoiler for people who have not seen this movie. So, spoiler starts here. The tease at the end for Supergirl. They want us to be interested in setting up a character that is literally set up by, oh, she goes partying on other planets. So, wait, her whole deal is she gets drunk and she's irresponsible? That does not make me more interested in seeing that movie. That makes me incredibly less interested in seeing a spin-off movie about Supergirl. I'm like, that is such a cliche and unnecessary. I already am starting off this new spin-off film on the wrong foot because again, it's just for some reason they just is it James Gunn? Like I feel like Guardians wasn't this bad, right? Like what's going on with women in this world? It's just so weird to me.
Well, if you remember from Guardians, since you brought it up, that the two lead women in there, Gamora and Nebula, were
Yes.
just assassins for Thanos, and that was it. You didn't get
Yeah.
till more of them until the second one where they fully bonded. You could see off screen them bonding
Yeah.
as sisters, and even in the third one where they were bonding, or not really bonding, but they were like
Yeah.
more caring for each other and for the
Right.
team. So they
No,
do
yeah.
grow over the course of the film.
Eventually, yes.
Yes,
But also keep in mind, also, spoilers for how Avengers stuff goes. Gamora is also the one who gets basically sacrificed.
yes.
So there's also that too. It's like, okay, what are we doing here? I don't know. I don't love James Gunn's whole thing with women. I wish he was a little better about it. And you're right, maybe I should give it some time. But at least in this film, I wasn't super thrilled with how those characters were treated. But
Well, the Supergirl will have her own movie
right, yeah.
next year,
I just
and
crossing my fingers. Please let it be written and directed by a woman. Please, can we have that at least?
I think it
Hmm.
is because it is currently shooting.
Yeah, I hope so. I actually don't know if that's the case, but anyway. But otherwise,
But yeah, no,
yes,
there's like a whole like backstory of like why she does that. She's just not like off partying because she wants to. There's a
I
whole reason to it,
well,
comic book accurate reason.
again though, they have
But
not
then, but
communicated
yes,
that
but if you're not
to
communicating
me.
that to the
Right,
not lame audience, everyday audience, they're not
right,
going to understand that. They're just be like, oh,
right.
that's just super party girl.
Yeah, I am your version of the non-comic book nerd who's seeing this movie. And yeah,
Right.
if I didn't pick that up, then yeah, the normie, even more of a normie than me, is also going to be confused. Be like, wait, what are we doing here? Who's I'm guessing that's Supergirl because she's a girl dressed like Superman. I
And
can
has the
put
S
two
on
and
her
two
chest, yeah.
together. But beyond that, like what? Okay, like they wouldn't even know that that's setting it up for a film. So yeah, it's just
Mhm.
weird vibe coming out of that film. But yeah, otherwise, I thought it was a good time. I liked a lot of what it was trying to do, and pretty much everything you said last week is still true. I like that it acts as kind of this parable of like modern morality, like this battle between like just doing good as opposed to the rich people who want to ruin it for their own self gain. Like it definitely is a really timely story about that kind of thing, and Lex Luthor is an effective villain in that way. And it just kind of a slimy Mark Zuckerberg. I kept thinking about Mark Zuckerberg, which I think is on purpose.
Which is funny because the
Yeah,
last Lex Luthor played Mark Zuckerberg.
I know. Weird how these things come together like that, huh? Anyway, all right. That's all I have to say about Superman.
All right. Well, you liked it. That's good enough
I
for
did.
me. All right.
All right,
And I think
I'll do it.
that'll do it for us here on the Media Boat podcast.
Yes, thank you for joining us
Um,
this week. We'll
hmm,
be back next week for more. All of the above news, reviews, all sorts of things. So tune in then.
I will
In the
have thoughts
meantime,
on the
yes.
Fantastic Four First Steps next week. I do have
Okay,
tickets to see it on Friday.
got it. Right. So next week, look forward to Fantastic Four thoughts. In the meantime, and Fantastic Four thoughts, as well as
Yes.
Fantastic Four thoughts.
Yes, my
Uh,
four thoughts and my
and
Fantastic
your
Four
Fantastic
thoughts.
Four thoughts. Um, yes, if in the meantime, if you want to see the video versions of our podcast, go to youtube.com and search Media Boat Podcast. Find our channel, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications when new videos go up. You can also find us on podcast services if you search Media Boat Podcast in your podcatcher of choice. You can also find us on the internet. We're on social media platforms like Blue Sky, search Media Boat Podcast. We're on the internet on mediaboatpodcast.com, where our archive of our old shows are on there. And then lastly, if you want to email us questions, comments, feedback about the show, we're at mediaboatpodcast@gmail.com. We will read those emails on the podcast. Oh, also, twitch.tv/mediaboat. Are you still climbing or have you moved on to a new game?
Like I said, I was playing some Shadow of the Colossus.
Yes.
I'm going
I
to be
didn't know you
moving
were
on.
streaming it. You didn't mention that.
I was not streaming it because I was trying to run right through it. And turns out, yes, when there is no side objectives, you can just speed, try and speed run right through it.
Yeah. Oh,
Like I said, like took me about like 6.5, 7 hours just to do it. So a day,
yeah.
if you have 7 hours to devote to it.
Fair enough. Alrighty.
uh, yeah, we'll be back with next week with more news,
Yep.
more thoughts, Fantastic Four thoughts, Happy Gilmore 2 thoughts
Oh God.
next week.
Not from
Uh,
me.
oh, you say that now.
Yeah, I do say that now.
Yes, and I'm sure you'll say it next week too. But we'll
Yeah.
find that out next time.
All right, see you
All
guys.
right, bye.